Hey everybody, it's Rob and Mandy with Heart and Soil Farms. Today we're going to talk to you guys about our past plans that we've made with our garden and how we've set it up on small scale. We're going to cover some of the do's and don'ts, and we're going to kind of show you our current layout and things that we may change. So let's take a look.
So I've had a couple people reach out to us either through Instagram or through our YouTube channel, and they've said kind of something similar about how they're afraid to start. What can they do? They feel like they don't have enough property to start, and they're just worried about just jumping in and doing this. So that's kind of what we decided to go ahead and make this video and kind of go over it with you a little bit. So if you go back on one of our first YouTube videos, you'll see our progress in the first year, and that'll show you what we did the first year, and what our property looked like bare before we even touched it.
It was real bare. There was nothing but a couple trees in the backyard. It was all grass. There was no structures. Nothing.
And this is where we're going to be completely transparent, honest, and say, do not do what we did. Do not kill yourself. Do not think that you have to do it all in 1 year. We had that mindset. We bought it and we were so excited, and we were like, oh, we're going to do chickens. We're going to do above ground garden beds. We're going to build barns. And
we did go crazy. We're not necessarily spring chickens either, so
Lord,
but
trust
we
me.
put in a lot of sweat equity for that first year.
And so that's why I wanted to be completely honest with you guys, because on the YouTube video, it does look like, it just miraculously happened, and that's not the case. As I've said previously, we both work full-time jobs, and we were so excited just to do this that we were working 15, 16-hour days just to accomplish what we thought had to get done in our minds, and we let that kind of take over how we did things, and it pretty much killed us. We were hurting, y'all. We could barely walk that day some days. I mean, the struggle was real. And so I'm like, it's not all rainbows and unicorns. You're not going to start, a little farm or a little homestead and it just be 100% like, yeah, it's not like that. They're lying to you.
Not saying that we don't love it. We've enjoyed all of it.
Neely, sorry y'all, my cat is trying to jump on the camera. I apologize. Yeah, oh, and we love it. We're absolutely in love with it. But we wanted to be realistic and honest with everyone, in that we did probably take on and do way too much in the beginning, just because we were so excited and we wanted to get it done and we wanted to do all of this. So don't be like us. Don't do that. Pace yourself. Do one project at a time. Like I've said before, we live on just over 1.3 acres. Now, of course, we can't grow on all that because our home is, on that property. And so I wanted to kind of take a few moments and say, listen, let me try to give you advice from us being way too overexcited and jumping into it and just overdoing it and trying to accomplish too much and just telling you how to do it small scale. So on an acre, like I said, this is going to be our third year, 3 years, right? 3 years going into this. So now we're in the mindset, at least I'm in the mindset, bigger, 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 because I'm not going to lie, once y'all get a taste of this lifestyle and you get a taste of being able to grow your own food, it's kind of like, it's an addiction. You just get addicted to it, and you want to just do more and more and more.
I go in the produce department today. Whenever I go to the grocery stores, I still have to go to the grocery stores. We're not fully self-sufficient just yet, or we may not be there, but for the most part we try to do all our vegetables. We're going to try to do some meats, but I go in there and like they say in Roots of Refuge, everything just looks like disappointment when you go in there. It's all wilted. It doesn't look to the quality standards of what you grew. And it's really hard to shop for vegetables and produce in some of the grocery stores these days. But Go ahead.
It is. He came home actually from the grocery store today, and he's like, I didn't buy anything. I was disgusted with all of it. And it's just hard because when you grow your own, you just see how beautiful and it tastes so good. And then when you go to the grocery store, it's just a major letdown. So we're trying to get fully sustained on growing our own fruits and vegetables. We have a little small orchard. We probably have, how many trees do you think we have?
There's probably 12 trees and a bunch of fruit bushes as well.
And we have and they're all spread out. We have apples.
Berry bushes, excuse me.
Yeah, we have apples.
Apples, pears, peaches, plums.
Figs.
Blackberries, blueberries, raspberries.
And so we're able to kind of utilize that. Now, just keep in mind also when I say this, when you plant these, we planted these 2 years ago. So this year, now our fruit bushes produced immediately. They were phenomenal. We had great success with the fruit bushes.
Berry bushes.
Yeah, the berry bushes, the raspberries, the blackberries. But as far as the fruit trees, you're going to have to invest a couple years in those before you start to get any fruit from those trees. So this year we're hoping, since it's our third year, that we'll get something. We'll just have to wait and see.
Because they were small trees when we first bought them. We had to get them planted. They've got to get situated. The one thing that I would do if you are starting your homestead is do get your trees planted immediately, so you can get those going, get them established, and as you get your other things situated, then your fruit will come on.
And M.I. Gardner, who's someone that we've watched from the beginning, has some great videos about establishing fruit-bearing trees and how to protect the roots during the winter. I'm so sorry. I watched him a lot when we first planted ours, and I implemented some of the things that he said to do, and we haven't lost a tree yet. So he's a fantastic resource to kind of watch videos if you're wanting to, if you're going to start your trees. So I always tell everybody, they're like, oh, well, we don't live this, or we live in an apartment, or we don't have a very big yard. What can we do? We want to do something. So there's a couple different things that I'm going to touch on just to kind of give you guys an idea that it doesn't matter where you live. Like I said, you can live in an apartment and you can still grow. If you want to grow something, if you love tomatoes, anything, radishes.
Microgreens. Microgreens are really easy to start.
It's so easy. You don't have to have this big space. I know a lot of people had said that they've watched some other, homesteaders, and they have such abundance property that they feel like maybe intimidated and they can't do it. And I want to say, don't do that at all. Like, that's not the case. We started off, crazy because we kind of felt like we had to just do this. And if I had to do it again, I probably would have gone a lot slower and not been so crazy with the mindset that I had to get everything done immediately. So I wanted to show you guys just a couple things and go over a couple things with you. And also, Jess from Roots and Refuge, we follow her too. Love her channel. She has some really good ideas and things that I've also taken from her. One of the things she said, a swimming pool. You can buy a small swimming pool for like $5 at Dollar General, at Walmart, wherever. Sometimes you find them on the side of the road because they've been cracked or broken. You can take that swimming pool, fill it up with soil, put some radishes in it, put some peppers in it.
Just drill a few holes in the bottom so it can have some drainage.
Yeah, and boom, there you go. You got yourself a little mini garden going on. So that's one thing that she does talk about on her channel, and I really enjoyed hearing her feedback on doing that also. Another thing is if you just have like a little patio space. So at the end of the season, that's when you should really kind of watch for stuff. We're really big end of season watchers. We try to get as many deals as humanly possible. So kind of just to give you a little bit of an idea. So we went to Dollar General at the end of summer last year. And Dollar General, they had all of their gardening supplies, what was it, like 90% off? Something crazy like that?
It wasn't quite that, but it was at least 75%.
I mean, it was a major thing.
We cleaned house.
We cleaned
house.
We
started with one basket. Then we're like, well, go get another basket. I think we took 3 baskets.
full underneath, top, things hanging off of it. Because I can't walk away from a deal, y'all. It's an addiction. It's horrible, but that's a whole other video. It's a whole other video. We're not getting into that. So if you don't, if you're a single person or you don't have the funds to go out and buy all this major stuff, look at end of season. So last year, like I said, we went to Dollar General. These pots right here, these pots were $2. $2. And I think that we paid, man, I couldn't, what do you think? 50 cents maybe?
Yeah, 50 cents max.
Max. These pots are great. They're sturdy. You do have to drill some holes in the bottom, but this is like I'm saying, we paid 50 cents for this. If you want to grow yourself a tomato plant, drop a tomato seed in there.
And had some garden soil as well, the smaller bags that was part of the deal. It's not the best garden soil, but hey, it's still some garden soil. You could put a little bit of fertilizer in it and it would be good to go.
Exactly. Like, just start small. And like I said, and I think those bags of soil were maybe $1. So for $1.50, you could...
And maybe a pack of seeds that are 20 cents.
Marked down, yeah.
Yeah.
And you just decide. If you decide that you want to grow a pepper plant, it can go in this. If you decide that you want to grow a tomato plant. Now, the tomato plant isn't going to be as lush and humongous as it would be if you're going to put it into the ground. But it's still going to produce. And there's different sizes. You don't need to go get the gigantic tomatoes. You can get the smaller or medium tomatoes so that you can kind of, take care of it. Also, garden gloves. We got these garden gloves, I think, for $1. And I went crazy, y'all, and I probably bought like 50 pair of these. I'm not even exaggerating. It was ridiculous. Because we go through garden gloves hardcore on...
Yeah. You walk around our garden, we don't have a lot of, well, as you've seen in our previous videos, we're trying to do a lot of storage. We don't have a lot of places. You'll walk around our garden and you'll see a lot of gloves laying everywhere.
I'm horrible. I'll take them off and I'm like, I'm going to come pick those up. Y'all, I totally forget. I'll grab another pair. I'll do the same thing. I'll have like 6 pair of gloves up there and I'm like, what am I doing? And they get rained on.
That's only because we found so many deals on gloves that we have so many gloves. A lot of people don't have that many pairs of gloves, but we do.
They were like $1 or something, like super cheap. So that's one thing I wanted to kind of say is end of season deals. Another thing that I want to let you guys know is your local nursery. Check with your local nursery or check with your local landscape company. They get so many bushes and trees and stuff brought in with plastic containers. And this plastic container, which I'm not gonna, it's probably gonna take up the whole shot, but this plastic container right here, it's pretty huge. I'm not sure how many gallons this is, but it's a pretty substantial size pot. We went to a local landscape company and...
It's at least a 6 gallon.
At least. And they said, because they have trees that are brought in, and then they don't utilize or keep the containers that they come in.
They just stack them up, throw them to the side.
These were free. Free.
They're happy to give them to you. They're like, hey, you want to take them, pick them up? You can have them.
Exactly. Now, it sucked, I'm not going to lie. We probably 8 hours. But
you don't want to know how many pots we got.
Now
we're pot hoarders.
Anybody need a pot? Give me a call, shoot me a message. We've got some pots.
We've got pots.
I hoard seeds, I hoard pots. Apparently I hoard gloves. I have issues, y'all, I've told you. But I do. But
hey, we do it at a reasonable price.
Free. So they were giving them away for free. And they were like, yes, take them all. The guy was, hi, Nookers. So the guy was he wanted them gone. Come here, Nookie, come on. The guy, sorry y'all, he's got to know what's going on. Sit down, please. Sit down. The guy wanted them gone so bad. He was like, we didn't have a trailer. We just brought our truck. He's like, take the trailer. Go, load the trailer up. Like, that's how bad he wanted
He literally let us take his trailer.
Off the property.
He said, just don't take it. Don't steal it. He
We're
was
like,
kind of joking. We're like, but...
You're just going to let us take this?
You don't even know us, but hey, we got good people here in town.
Good people. Good community. So, free. And like I said, we've got a lot of them. So, free pots. Now, with this pot, you can actually put a hardier tomato plant. You can actually put a lot,
Tomatoes, peppers.
anything in here.
Grow a couple heads of lettuce in it if you want.
I mean, it's a pretty substantial thing. So these are just some ideas I wanted to kind of throw out to you, that it doesn't have to be anything huge. Coghill Farm, we love Coghill Farm, the Dancing Farmer. Y'all have to go check him out. He is hilarious. Oh, you do got his shirt on. I didn't even realize. It's a tier type of thing. I can't even remember what it's called. Do you remember what it's called? Sorry, y'all. It's a tiered up grower that he actually has on his back porch. And it's all got all these different levels. And he grows herbs in it.
It's the garden tower system.
Yes. And it just literally sits right on his patio. And you should see all the stuff that he's able to just grow and, get from that one little garden tower. So there's so many ways that you can do it. So please don't get disheartened. Don't think that just because you don't have possibly, the space or the acres and acres, because just like we don't, you just start small and then work your way up, and you're like, okay, I can do this. Let's go to this. Start with one garden bed. Make sure you can manage it. Don't overextend yourself. And if you say, yeah, I can handle that, it wasn't too much, then you can always make another one and, keep adding to it. There's so many options. And I had brought up a video, my last video I did bring this book up, The Backyard Homestead, and get educated. Read, and there's so many different resources out there.
Go to your local library. There's a lot of reference books you can just check out. You ain't even got to buy them.
And it's all about small scale. You don't have to have acres and acres. You don't have to have all the animals. You don't have to do any of that. You can, if you just want to start growing, you can grow. And I'm the crazy chicken lady. We've had chickens for quite a few years. I love chickens. Once you start, don't ever go to Tractor Supply. You just won't leave without them. So before we bought this house, we lived in the city. And in the city, you are allowed to have chickens, but you have to get a permit. It was really cheap. It was very easy. We were allowed to have, I think, 6 chickens.
I think it was actually 4.
What
are you going to do with 4 chickens?
Okay, I might have had more than 4.
Because our chicken math is not good.
It's not good. I can't add. The one thing they were super strict about is you cannot have roosters. But we didn't want roosters, so we were fine with it. So we got the eggs every day. And it was so easy to do. Chickens are not difficult to take care of. A lot of people, I hear a lot of different things. I've done chickens for a long time. Now, can things happen to them? Can things come up? Yes. That's with any animal. That's with your dog. That's with your cat. That's with us. It can come up. But there's resources to kind of help you, get through it and figure it out. I have had very little issues with our chickens. You can just get one. You can get one chicken. And one little,
Don't get one chicken. Get 2 chickens. Don't make that.
Don't start them, chicken math. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to get a whole flock. You can get one chicken just to see how you do with it. They're very easy to take care of. They don't require a lot of babysitting. The biggest thing you have to make sure is protect them. Make sure no predators, no neighbor dogs, things like that can get to them. That's the biggest, I think, expense that you'll have to make sure is they're just protected and taken care of. Because you don't want to, spend the money to go get a chicken and then something happen to it. So predators is the biggest thing that you kind of got to watch out for. So I just wanted to throw that out.
If you're in an apartment, you may not want to get a chicken. But if you don't, if you live in a townhome, the little patio in the back, you might want to get a chicken.
You can get yourself a little chicken. So just don't be scared. If you know somebody, be like, can I borrow your chicken for a weekend? Kind of see how it does. Like, don't be afraid to ask somebody. I've got tons. If you live close to me, I'll let you.
We can start renting chickens.
I'll let you. I ain't gonna rent it. I'll do it for free.
Rent a rooster.
Rent a chicken. Oh my Lord. So I just wanted to touch on that just a little bit to kind of give you guys, an idea of, don't be afraid. Don't get out of your own head. Don't get intimidated by other things that you may see or think that you have to do it. Beat to your own drum. Grow a tomato plant in a pot. Grow some radishes in a swimming pool like Jess. Just, if you want to do it and you have that, that urge to do it, just do it. So on another scale, I was going to also say, if you do have property, write it down. take a piece of paper, a pen, and be like, okay, this is what I'd like to do. Where can I put it? Where do I have the space to put it? What would it look like? And just draw yourself like a little picture. Like, here's my house. I can't draw, by the way, so my stuff does not look fantastic. But here's my house. Here's this. I'm going to put a little bed there to kind of give you an idea. I'm a very visual person, which I've said several times in my other videos. I do much better if I can kind of see it on paper. So we started off just drawing different pictures. Well, the other day, Rob found this, it's Ghost Line Invisible Grid poster board.
Yeah, poster board. And we wanted to try to make an outline of our backyard, which we should have done in the first place. Once again, we say we live on an acre, but all this that she's going to show you is going on in actually less than half an acre. It's probably a little over a quarter of the acre. So we got a lot going on, and you can do it too.
Grow on it, don't mow it. That's my philosophy. So he got this poster board. Now, you don't have to go out and buy a poster board, but once again, Bobby and all his fantastic deal finding, I think he found this poster board for like $1.50.
It don't matter.
It was cheap. We're not going to spend a lot of money on anything. So since we had it, I was like, okay, let's draw it out. Let's kind of get an idea of where we're going to put something. And we, of course, want to expand now. Like I said, we have chickens, we have ducks, we have 2 pigs, we have a rabbit. So this year, we want to incorporate meat chickens and 2 meat pigs into the farm.
We follow Justin Rhodes, and he has showed us how we too can do raising of pigs on a small area. So we're going to try it out.
Yeah, like we've really been following him and doing this, and I'm like, okay, we can do it. I feel confident. We've marked the space out there. I don't want to bring them on until spring because of the winter. I don't want to have any issues with having to, heat that area or anything, because it is going to be, difficult. I don't have electricity back where they're going to be. So we are going to do some meat chickens this year, and we are going to bring the 2 pigs. I think the kind that we decided on were coonies. Is that what they were?
That's what's leading it so far is cooney, but we're looking at some other types.
Just because they're a little bit smaller, they still produce a good amount of meat, but they don't get as massive as some of the other pigs do.
They take a little bit longer to grow out as well. They can get really.
Buddy,
okay.
He's just making a pass by.
It's his house too.
We just live here.
So like I say, those can grow out fairly large as well, but that's why we're possibly considering another type of pig as well.
Yes, and I'm leaving that all up to Rob. I have Mr. Bullet, which I'm sure you guys have seen in some of my videos. He's strictly a farm pig. He's my buddy. I got Miss Clover. She's my Minnie. He allowed me to have those graciously. So those are my 2 farm pigs. The meat pigs I'm leaving all up to him. Thank you, honey.
Yeah. Gotta love them.
We do. We just adore them now. So I'm going to have Rob grab the camera and come around, and we're going to do a little shot and kind of show you how our yard is set up. And like I said, this is just the backyard that we have. We have I have above ground beds in the front of the house. I have a 30-foot bed on the side of the house. But the majority of our area that we're going to utilize is the backyard, because we fenced that in with a 6-foot privacy fence. So I'm going to have him grab this and kind of show you what we're going to do and what we're going to add to the farm.
Let's take a look.
So this is our backyard, and it's not to scale. Rob is actually going to do it to scale so we can completely have an idea of how much space we have left that we can actually grow on, because I do want to add some more beds. But like I said previously, I'm a very visual person, so it's good for me to kind of see what I've got going on and what I can do. So in the back corner, y'all see we have the greenhouse, we have our barn, the chicken coop, duck house, and our rabbit. So,
and that outline, that's our Premier One fence.
Yeah, that's our fencing. So that contains all of the animals in that one particular section, and that's kind of where they're gonna stay. Beside that,
that's where our greenhouse is going to be.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw that up the spring into summer.
So Mr. Bullet, his pen is right there, and there's going to be a divider, and this is where the 2 meat pigs are going to be. This is on the very back of the property. This is our 6-foot privacy fence. Just pretend you can see it all around the edges. So the meat pigs are going to go right there, and then Mr. Bullet's going to be beside them. But like I said, there's going to be a divider, so he cannot get in with them at all, because I do not want any babies. Beside that, I have the garden shed, which I put on my last video, so if y'all want to go check that out, that's the garden shed that we're working on right now, and that's more storage space that we need, so go ahead and check that out. Here is where all of our above ground garden beds are. It's all the different sizes. I have a flower box right in the middle that we plant all different types of wildflowers to help encourage the bees to come, because we just absolutely love pollinators. In front of the garden beds, I have a 30 by 50 one. I have a trellis, which I'm going to grow some loofahs on. I grew loofahs last year for the first time, and I am absolutely positively addicted to it. I just love the way the loofahs looked. It grew absolutely beautiful. But and then I have another garden bed, and this is of course getting closer to the house. Right here, where you see this edge, this is actually where our house is. Now just remember, this is not made to scale. I was just doing this one day to kind of just get an idea. After the trellis and the garden beds, our little orchard that we told you guys about is all here. It actually goes all the way up to almost the back of the property, but I made these too big, but they do stretch all the way up, and in between the trees there's berry bushes too, so that does go all the way up. We have a fire pit that we also did a video on, and around that fire pit we have grapes that we planted, and we made like a trellis system for the grapes to grow, and I'm going to actually add some more fruit bushes in front of the grapes. There's a ditch kind of behind this fire pit, so I'm going to add those there. This is the left side of the property. Like I said, pretend that's our fence. We have the big 50 by 40 garden bed that Rob kind of he handles that. We turn this over at least 3 times as far as like the radishes, the lettuce, the spinach, all of that. Beside that, we have more berry and fig bushes. These are just little window garden houses that I made, that I put dill and other types of herbs into them. Something really cute. You can see that on one of my videos. And then this, like I said, is where my house is. So this is the property line, and this is where the house is. Along the privacy fence, we have a huge long area. It's not that big, it's much longer. And we plant our corn there every year. It grows really great. It looks so fantastic when you pull up into the yard behind the fence. And then we do have a swimming pool, which is kind of awesome. It came with the house, so we got super lucky. And I plant tomatoes and cucumbers all the way around almost the swimming pool. I don't plant it on this side just because the sun doesn't come. So I have tons of tomatoes and cucumbers that I plant on that side.
And we actually have a full-size pool. It's not just half a pool.
Well, I ran out of space. Like, that comes onto the house, so I just stopped doing that. So here's something else. I just wanted to give you guys a quick peek at kind of what we're doing. And then, you know, adding the pigs and the meat chickens. The meat chickens are going to be, you know, wherever. On the far side, it's a couple more window greenhouses that I did. And then that's where I grew my loofahs last year. And I used cattle panel to make like the trellis. And it was just absolutely beautiful. I loved it. So this is just another way for me to kind of be able to visualize what space I have, what I want to grow, where I'm going to put it. And like I said, you don't have to do it to this scale by no means at all. We just plan on expanding, so I'm trying to utilize the best areas that I have and utilize my property to the fullest extent that I can to accomplish what we want to grow and what we want to do. So even if you have a small area, you can just jot down, I think I'm going to do this here, and once you get it, check it off, and then just move on to the next project.
Another things you want to think about too is the way your drainage goes through your yard. If you're not on a flat piece of property and you have a slope, consider the way your stuff drains. Make sure stuff isn't going to be running through your flower beds or you know.
Yeah, because we had some issues with that our first year.
Yeah.
We actually had to move an entire greenhouse because we did not realize the drainage was going to wipe it out. So lessons, like I said, and that didn't deter us. You know, we failed on it and it didn't work in that area. So, okay, we're going to move it to another area now that we know, and put something else in that area that in a different way so it's can handle the drainage area. So that's like a fantastic point. So I just wanted to make this quick video, kind of touch base with you guys, give you a heads up on what our plans are for this summer, this spring, this summer. Super excited to be adding some new animals. We did get our seeds from Baker Creek, so we're going to be introducing some new vegetables into our growing schedule. Some of them I've never even grown before, so I'm super excited about that.
And something else she hasn't added or spoke to you about is I'm going to try my hand at cutting flowers this year.
He is, and
So there's going to be a lot of flowers going.
And I'm not going to lie, they're beautiful. The dog just keeps wanting to make a cameo, y'all. I apologize. So I think the property's going to just smell absolutely fantastic.
We're going to bring in a lot of pollinators.
a lot. So thank you guys for, spending this time with us. And I hope some of the information that I gave you can really help you if you do decide to grow something. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below. We try to get to every comment. It might take us a minute, but we try to answer everybody who says who comments or has any questions for us. But thanks so much for watching.
Yep. If you know anybody else that can get any use out of some of the information that we're sharing with you, please share it, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the little bell. You can get all our updates on all our latest videos. So thanks again. Thanks for watching.
Bye, y'all. Have a great day.
Bye.